Our topic today is Your Words Become Your Reality. Before we begin, I want you to pause for about 30 to 60 seconds while I ask this following questions. Number one, have you ever said anything to yourself about yourself that came true? Have you ever said something to somebody that inspired them and changed their entire day? Have you said something to somebody that you wish you hadn't said? And has somebody or someone said something to you that got you completely down? Just a few seconds to dabble out in your mind the different kind of thoughts about words. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well, first of all, have you ever said something to yourself that came out true, whether they were positive or negative? Yes, it's happened. Oh no, I knew it. I said to myself, this is going to happen to me, whether it's passing a test, whether it's failing a test, whether the cooking didn't come out right, whether the person you wanted didn't want to come, whatever it is, I knew it. My heart told me, right? So these are the things that sometimes you say to yourself that sort of comes true. You know, in the olden days, the words of the saints and sages become very, very endearing and very powerful. And sometimes in moments of distress and unhappiness, when we remember what our saints and sages say to us, you pull up those sentences in your heart and you say, you know what? My saint and my guru said, everything is going to be okay. He said it, so it's going to be okay for us. Or sometimes you open up words from a book of scripture and it says whatever happened is the best, whatever is going to happen is going to be the best of all. And then you hold on to those words despite of such a difficult situation, and you sailed through. Or sometimes I remember, many of us remember Dadi Janki, and we said, oh, Daddy said it will happen. Daddy said it has happened. So this too will pass. So we hold on to the words of wisdom of the wise. And that's why in Hindi, I love this word, Ziban. Ziban means I gave you my word. It is a big honor in royal families or in very elite type of families in the olden days when they say that I gave them my word. The word was good enough. There was nothing imprinted, nothing in contract. It was just the word. And the word Ziban actually simply means tongue. Now, if you look at a rudder of a ship, there is this tiny mechanism right at the bottom. It's straight like that. It's very tiny. And it's able to maneuver the ship, and it's invisible. But it has the power of being so tiny and yet able to move and maneuver such a huge ship. So sometimes we use this analogy to speak about the tongue. Have you ever wondered why this tiny organ, which is no more than, 3.5 inches long, boneless, really, is hidden behind 32 teeth? Guarded behind 32 teeth, because it has an ability to just come out at the wrong time, saying the wrong thing or the right thing, for all you know. But there's this guard behind it. And that's the story about how the tongue likes to come out and say what it thinks without thinking, and what it says, anything it feels like saying. And then, of course, it said something about someone's wife, it said something about someone's landlord, and it became a big chaos, and the person's teeth got knocked out. So this is the power of the tongue. The power of this tiny organ that can either change your life, make your life, or break your life, and also the life of others. We're going to go elaborately into all this in the next 30-40 minutes. But I have to add a beautiful, abundant saying that I really, really use in my personal life. And this abundant saying says that be careful what you say. If you have a poor mouth, you will have a poor life. So the abundant saying is, if you have a poor mouth, you will have a poor life. What does it mean by a poor mouth and a poor life? It just simply means if you use words, I can't afford it. It's not us. I'm always in debt. I'm the unlucky one. Whenever there is anything that you say about yourself which is lack of, okay, this is not us. People like us can't reach that level. We are uneducated. My mother says we are always going to remain as we are. My father said, my teacher said. I say to myself, you know what? It's not me. Me, become a speaker. Me, become so educated. Me, no, I can't afford that. I can't think about that. These are what we call words that are not only low in vibrations, but they are also words that pushes away abundance out of your life. They become out of reach. They become a wishful thinking, a desire, but they don't manifest. They don't become. Because that is what you say to yourself, and that is what you think about yourself. The second thing that I really like about this power of words is that words are like seeds. Seeds you plant and they must grow, which means the words that you speak to yourself for yourself can be very prophetic, can be a kind of self-prophecy. For example, you get up in the morning and you say to yourself, you know, I've worked very hard for this interview, and I've worked and studied about the company, and I've polished up on my qualifications, I've done my brilliant CV, you know, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, I'm going to get this job, I'm going to get this job. The morning comes, you look at yourself in the mirror as you get ready, and a thought comes in, what if I don't get it? What if they think I'm overqualified? What if because of this pandemic, I'd never get a job again? So all these thoughts that you have after building up such aspirations about yourself, and you begin to think and even say these words to yourself, and then the inevitable happened. They did say, I'm really sorry. We think that you're overqualified for this task. We're looking for someone in the mid-range of the mid-qualifications. And then you say to yourself, I told you so. I knew it. I knew it. So the power of your words and the power of your thoughts, the two are linked, very much linked. The distance is only less than 10, 15 centimeters, but they're totally connected. Have you ever heard when people say a slip of the tongue? Well, are you sure it was a slip of the tongue? No. It's a slip of the thinking repeatedly that just slipped out into words. And these words becomes a curse or a blessing to yourself and to others. That's why many of the saints and sages are very cautious with what they speak and how they say, and what they say about themselves, about everything else around them. And I'm going to share with you how to use words that create abundance and power in your life in just the next half an hour. So words are like seeds. Seeds are very powerful. They must bear fruits. So if you want an apple seed, you cannot sow oranges. If you want an apple seed, you will need to sow apples. That's how, if you want an apple fruit, you need to sow apple seeds. This is that important. So if you want something negative to change into a positive, then you must sow the seed of thinking and speaking or affirming things which are positive. Because thoughts and words are seeds. They will bear fruits. Many of you must have heard of a very famous Japanese scientist called, I think, Masaru Emoto. Masaru Emoto. Of course, he did the most important experiment on water. And what does he say about water? He says that water has molecules that are constantly moving, and whatever word you put in there and whatever you say to that water has an impact on that water. And he proved it. He proved it by speaking or labeling words on that water. You're an idiot. You're stupid. Or the other word on other glasses, thank you, blessed, lucky, wonderful. And then what he did was he froze that. He froze that, and the words that were negative, the molecules became completely disoriented. And yet the words that were labeled on that water that was frozen and tested out, the words with positive emotions, beauty, blessed, power, love, peace, these type of high vibration words created harmonious molecules around that. And you know, in the olden days, they say, don't stand up to drink your water. Sit down and take your water. Sip it with gratitude, sip it with thanks. Sometimes people also say that, you know, these people are so angry in life that I wouldn't even touch the water from their home. Why do you say that? Because you feel that having water from a family that is so negative, that is so bad, that is so cruel, that is lack of compassion, you feel having water from that house might make your body or you become just as angry, deceitful, manipulative like them. So you'd say, I wouldn't even have water in their house. So imagine if water, if molecules can have such an emotions and words which are negative or positive can have an impact on a glass of water, that you drink, then what is your body made up of? Your body is made up of 70% of water. That's right. So what are you saying to yourself? What are you speaking to yourself? Because these cells that we have, trillions of cells that we have amazing intelligence. Amazing intelligence. The more you repeat, I'm clumsy, I'm lousy, I'm unlucky. Okay, the more you say that, the more you repeat, the more that you think about that. These waters, these cells, with their amazing intelligence, will create this kind of feelings, will create this kind of behavior, will impact your thoughts, your words, and your life. Because 70% of our body is water. This is how amazing the power of water is. And now, if some of you are sitting with a piece of paper and pen, then you can write down. But for those who don't want pieces of paper and pen, just put up your finger like that in the form of a triangle. Part 3 of our topic on the power of words is a simple diagram of a triangle. The apex of the triangle, which is this, you're going to write that what you call words. The lower side in here, on the other angle of the triangle, you will write the word emotion. And on this side, you will write the words words. So words, emotion, and words. This is an entire cycle that goes within seconds in your mind and then out into your mouth, from your thought into your mouth. For example, the word 9/11. It creates a kind of emotion. Thoughts, words, pictures, emotion for some people. The word snake. The word beautiful, peaceful. The word yogi creates a kind of emotion. And the word hospital. The word corona. The word pandemic create different kinds. These are just words. The word bomb. I mean, if in the airport you say the word bomb, or in the airplane you say the word bomb, that's enough to get you kicked out. Enough. So words can create such kind of emotions. If I was angry that day and I said words to you, and it created this angry emotion inside yourself, because these are angry words, and so you are bound to have a certain kind of angry emotions. Now, in that state of emotion, highly strung, feeling totally unfair of the words that I have said, that was spoken to you, if at that moment of emotion, of great anger that you have hearing my words, what are the likely words that you're going to say back to me? Sweet words, flowery words? Not necessarily. You react and you would give back equally angry words. So words create emotions, and emotions, be careful of them. Emotions will produce words inside you. Emotions will create words inside you. This is how powerful this triangle is. There's a beautiful Hindi word that I really like, and that word is what you call Bhasha. Bhasha means the language. Bhasha, Bhavna means feelings or emotion. Bhavi, which means you create your destiny. So the words and the language you use on yourself will create these emotions and feelings. And based on these emotions and feelings, if you act on them, you create your destiny. An act that is sinful or an act that is not sinful. An act that is good or an act that is bad. So Bhasha, Bhasha, Bhavna, feelings and emotion, and Bhavi, destiny. All three are connected. If you keep saying to yourself, I'm so unlucky. My parents were always, my parents were always poor. I've never got what I wanted in life. We were always like this. If you keep using this unabundance feelings and sayings to yourself, you will always do mediocre type of actions and work towards yourself. And therefore you created your destiny of limitedness. But if you say to yourself, my parents came from this kind of background, my family came from this background, but I'm the few lucky, fortunate one. I'm one of those few who've been educated. I'm one of those few who've transformed my life and continue to learn and transform my life. I feel wonderful of where I am, the way I am today. Your possibilities of creating and attracting more and more opportunities is unlimited. You opened up your destiny, or you crossed out your fortune. This is the power of language and the power of feelings this language creates within you. I remember that is why I always used to say that it is important that when we are asked to share an experience, that we minimize the negative and accentuate or maximize the positive. For example, you had an experience of having lost your passport in the airport, okay? Or during your travel. It's not a pleasant experience. It's a negative experience when you think about it, obviously. With every experience comes an emotion. It's not a positive emotion that you have at that time when you lost your passport. But when you recount that story, or when you tell your story to yourself, or when you tell that story to other people, if you learn from your experiences to maximize high vibrational words and minimize negative words, then you would start changing the way you speak or the way you use words about your personal experiences. For example, you could say to yourself, well, I learned my lesson, didn't I? It certainly was not pleasant, but I did learn that never to rely and give my passport to anyone else. Or I did learn in a very, very hard way. Now, the hard way could be you cried, the hard way could be the police had came, but you didn't want to go there. You wanted to accentuate your lessons. You wanted to remember the lessons, and you wanted to share your experience in using that lessons till you maximize a positive attitude towards it. Well, never again. I'd never put my passport on the counter the next time. I'd never leave my baggage again on the trolley. I'd always carry that somewhere in my pocket, but I'd be very, very careful. I did learn the lesson. It was unpleasant, but you live and learn. Or sometimes you are asked to spend time with somebody somewhere, and you come back to yourself and you say, oh my goodness, what an utter waste of 3 hours. It started late, there were not many people, the host was not great. You can learn and start using your bhasha, or what you use, your language, in a different way to describe an experience that you were part of. Well, that was no fault of yours, but you're part of. So you begin to train to use the tongue, to maximize things in a positive way and minimize the negative way. Does it mean to call a spade a spade? Yes, a spade is a spade, but you need not use the words. You can minimize and say, well, didn't think that she was the type that I would have wanted to trust myself with. I ought to be careful of friends that I choose. I learned. It was wonderful. I am grateful. Once bitten, twice shy. That would what you'd say to yourself. But if you repeat to yourself again, I'd never trust myself again. I'd never trust these people again. You are reliving that in a very negative way, which is why sometimes now we don't use languages anymore. What do we use? We use emojis to express our experience, to express our language. It's the language of emojis. How are you feeling today? Whatever you want to draw in your emojis. An image, 1,000 words of feelings. Thousands words of feelings. So this is how fast our mind works. Words, okay, create emotions. Now, have you ever received a well-wishing card from someone? A beautiful WhatsApp thinking of you during the pandemic, hope you and your family are safe. And you felt how sweet of that individual. How sweet of that individual to actually think about me. Those were the words. They were just printed in black and white. And they transferred energy of positive feelings towards you. Now, you've received maybe a nasty email from someone. Those were just words, black and white. But they transferred a negative emotion inside you. Well, these are the power of not only just spoken words, but also written words, because they have an ability to transfer energy. Just like when you get a beautiful card from your grandchildren, or a beautiful card from a little person that says, I love you, thinking of you, come back soon, and you said, oh, how sweet. It was just in the card. But the words in the card, transferred into an emotion. And based on my emotion, I'm going to speak words about this. What a sweet child. What a sweet family. What a lovely girl. Okay, so words, emotions, and emotions will create more words. I remember when I was in Global House many years ago, I was late for a lecture, and Dadi Janki was, of course, going up on the stage at that time. And so I took the lift, and there was Dadi Janki, there was Dadi Janki's assistant, Sister Hansa, and Dadi had in her hands, this multicolored tablets that Hansa kept putting. And I looked at these tablets and I said, my goodness, Dadi is having so many medicines. And then Dadi caught my thought. Dadi must have caught my thought, and she said to me, have you seen my jewels? So I smiled, and she said, well, these are emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and white pearls. They are going to help the body to do what it needs to do, and he is going to help me to do what I need to do. I learned from that instant how not just to drink water, but how to actually take your medicines. I remember a beautiful story in one of my seminars in Dubai. There was this Arab lady, and she said, I'd like to share my experience. She said, I have so many diseases in my body, and I have to take my tablets every single morning. And so I learned that, I learned to take them. And how do I take them? She said, yeah, I tell them that, oh, good morning, my little friends. And I just visualize them that they are going, each one of them are going to meet somewhere in my stomach. They're going to play around for a little bit, and then they are going to different directions to heal my body so that I remain safe, I remain healthy to see my children. What a beautiful way to take your medicines. What a beautiful way to heal your body. So whenever there are parts of your body that are troubling you, instead of hating it, instead of disliking it, to say to yourself, so you have come and you have come to go. You have come like a message in a bottle. You have come as a messenger to my body that I need to take it easy, that I do get stressed up, that these palpitations can come down. I am master of it. If you have a headache that is throbbing and you say, I've got a cursing headache. No. I have a mind-blowing headache. No. You change your words. What would you say? What would you say about this migraine that's absolutely come most uninvited? I'll leave you to figure that out for yourself. How to maximize positive words and minimize the experience. Because the story you tell yourself again and again is the power of words that will create your destiny. You will bless your life or you will curse your life. You are your own prophet that will self-prophesize your destiny. This is the power of your life. Now people say, so what should we do? How do we control this tiny thing called the tongue? Well, people say many things. They say put a bead in your mouth before you say something. People say count to 10 before you react. But in meditation, we speak about something very different that can help you understand self-control. The idea of meditation or the purpose of meditation is simply to exercise self-control so that we are not just controlling, we don't need to control other people, but we just need to control our sense organs. That's why our meditation is what you call Raja Yoga, which means the yoga or the meditation that allows you to rule your senses. And there's a beautiful image in our scriptures, in our Hindu scriptures, a picture, I don't know if many of you have seen, or if you want, you can Google it, Arjuna holding the 5 vices. Google this image and you'd see this prince who's about to go to war, holding the 5 reins of 5 horses. Now, each of the horses represents the sense organs, which is the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, and the sense of touch. Okay? These are the 5 senses. So you, the soul in this body, embodies this prince. Every single morning when you wake up, okay, you are receiving information from this satellite. These are your satellite disk. The eye will see something. Oh, here goes my daughter-in-law. Late again. Oh, here goes my son. All over again. What a messy chap. Oh, here goes my student. Always late, never on time. The eyes will give you an information that created thoughts that you might speak. The ears will give you information on what you hear about yourself or about others that influences your thinking and that you just might share something that you're not supposed to share. The attitude, which is the nose, we say, well, the nose is up in the air. The nose means the attitude of superiority, attitude of inferiority, or attitude of equality, which means you and I, we are work in progress. Nobody's perfect yet. We are work in progress. So whatever information that these sense organs come to teach you, meditation learns, first of all, begins to control these sense organs, which are mine, which are purely mine. That's why the path of meditation is called the path of self-realization. And therefore, the path of self-realization enables you to become self-sovereign or self-ruler about yourself. Now, just as you promise in meditation, for example, today I'm going to see everything that's going to be positive. Today I'm not going to see anything negative about this person who I am spending the rest of my life with. And just before you finish that sentence, your eyes are going to definitely deceive you because you are going to see something negative about them. Maybe the way they speak, maybe the way they arrange their clothes, maybe the way they eat, the way they make the noise, whatever it may be. Just as when you say to yourself, I promise today I am not going to hear anything negative. There you go, someone calls you and filters you things that you don't like. Or you're stuck in a car with someone or somewhere and you're stuck between 2 people. How do you then control yourself? What are you then going to say? How are you going to react? Or you sit next to someone or meets up with someone with such an attitude in their mind. They didn't even say it, but they have their nose up in the air. And then here goes the thought, who is that? What does she think of herself? You offer your chances of likelihood to offer someone a seat next to you at the bus will be likely towards a person who is kind and gentle and who speaks to you or smiles at you rather than a person who looks around condescendingly. Where do I choose to sit? Even if there's an empty seat next to you, you're most likely to park something in there. You say, I am not going to sit next to that person. So attitude. All these are sense organs, are the 5 horses that meditation teaches you to self-control. And the proof of how your meditation is working is the proof, the way you then learn to control these sense organs. It's a proof. There is no other proof in meditation, how much it works. Now, we have a beautiful tool in Raja Yoga meditation that allows you to do a damage control in case where most likely you and the sense organs are going to make a mistake. And we call this technique or this tool, I really love this tool, we call it RRR, what you call triple R. And this triple R is what you call you realize, you regret, and you reform. This is how you then begin to damage control. And damage control is important because you are your own PR of your own company. You are the CEO of this company. This face is what people see. This mouth is what people hear. And so RRR works very beautifully. So what do I mean by this RRR? When you realize that your eyes made a mistake, when you realize that your ears, or probably that day you were very egoistic, or the words that you spoke created harm for someone, then very quickly you do a damage control, which means you say to you realize it. I know why I'm feeling like this today. I'm reactive because of what I saw. So that very eyes, you promise yourself that today, for the remaining part of the day, I am going to be careful of what I see. If it is through the ears that deceived you, that you enjoyed a gossip session, that was no fault of yours at all. But you simply heard probably what you shouldn't have heard or didn't want to hear. And you tell to yourself, today, I'm going to hear the rest of the day lovely, beautiful things about the people that they were talking about. If you did something out of your ego, because you are egoistic about something, then it is time to, with great humility, work on your actions. Whatever it is, we learn to realize it, regret it. But don't stay too long in that regret, because you could be regretting it for so long. Have you ever been on a diet that you say to yourself, today I'm not going to touch chocolate or sugar? And then lo and behold, you got tempted and you had sugar. And then you have two choices. You say to yourself, okay, for the rest of the day, I'm going to touch sugar until tomorrow morning or until the next week. First choice. Second choice, well, what the heck? I messed up my diet anyway. Might as well enjoy it. And there goes other bits of sugar. What is your damage control? These choices lie with you. They lie with you. And so the more powerful a meditator you become, the more you're able to rein your ego, you're able to rein the way what you see, the more you are able to rein and control what you want to hear, and then you begin to rein on the tongue, the power of your words that you speak to yourself. Oh, you, instead of doing that, you'd say, oh, okay, let's do something better today. So this is how you then work on reformation, the third R. Usually you realize things very quickly of what sense organs deceived you, and then you go into such a state of repentance that you go on into days, shouldn't have said that, oh my goodness, shouldn't have said that, shouldn't have said that. You didn't go into reform. Reform is what you call a kind of a future plan that you have for these sense organs. Just a future plan. It could be a 24-hour plan, or it could be the rest of the next 10 hours plan, or it could be the next 1 week's plan. What's your goal? What's your aim? What are you trying to rein from these five senses? This is why I love this tool in meditation, which we call RRR. You know, people speak about the word emotional intelligence. I used to be very scared of that word because I feel I'm really not intelligent enough to understand this emotional intelligence. And then I realized, my goodness, it's so simple. Emotional intelligence is my ability to feel my pulse. When a nurse takes your pulse, or the doctor takes your pulse, he is getting a message about something in your body. He is getting a message from your pulse. Feeling the pulse of mine, my own pulse, means understanding where I am coming from inside this big meeting that I am in. What are my thoughts? What are my feelings? And then I respect and understand the people who are in the rest of the group are all being impacted by their own sense organs, and they have come with me in this meeting, in this group, with their own thoughts, feelings, and experience. And if I'm emotionally intelligent enough to realize, then I develop what you call a sense of awareness, a feeling of empathy, a feeling of mercy, a feeling of compassion towards myself, towards other people in that whole group. And then on the basis of that, I learned to control. And I said, that person is not paying attention today at all. Not because that person does not like me. It is possible he is impacted by his own thoughts, by his own words, by his own sense organs that he was not happy about. So instead of attacking that person or reactively saying, where is your attention today? I feel totally insulted that you're not with us in this meeting. You are feeling the pulse and just being emotionally intelligent. And you navigated a reactive scenery, totally navigated a reactive scenery. And you controlled yourself, and you controlled your feelings, and you controlled your thoughts, and you controlled your... That's all. That's what emotional intelligence is. Imagine if a dog feels the master who's just opened the door is in a very bad mood. This is not the time to greet him like that. He would probably just whimper around your feet, hopefully not being kicked by you. But animals have that sense to pick up the emotions of a person and work intelligently around it. In the same way, so are you. So are you. And this is why I love meditation, because meditation teaches you, first of all, to be emotionally intelligent about your sense organs, so that you realize you regret and then you reform them gradually. And this way you reign in control on your emotions, so that then you choose to say what you need to say. And if you make a mistake, go back to RRR until one day you really feel really ashamed of meeting yourself in the mirror and said, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I am a child of God. I am not going to react the way they want me to react. I know better. That is the day that it will come. So meditation gives you the tool of RRR. Meditation also enables you to become what you call, to become very, very powerful. This is the beauty of meditation. And lastly, I'd like to do a beautiful meditation with you, and I think that you will love it. So get yourself a piece of paper. Get yourself a piece of paper, and if you don't have a piece of paper, use your mobile phone, okay? And let's begin this small meditation, very quietly. Are you ready? Okay. Now, the word I am. The word I am are two of the most powerful words, because what follows it, okay, could change your destiny. I want you, in your own time, in the next 30 seconds or so, pick up high vibration words instead of low vibration words. High vibration words are words of love, peace, happy, joy, content, blessed. Okay, these are high vibration words. Low vibration words: disappointed, lost, rejected, unlucky, difficult. These are low vibration words. I am, fill in the blanks, three things which is something about your quality or about your specialty. I am a great cook. I am a child of God. I am blessed. Three things about yourself. I am a great organizer. I am a clever manager. Whatever it is, either three specialties, okay, three specialties, or three qualities about yourself. We go now. 30 seconds. Well done, everybody. Well done. Now, once again, going back deep into your meditation, I want you now to use what you call amazing adjective words by using, okay, this particular words that I'd like you to start using about yourself now. I am brilliant, and then cook. I am a great speaker, for example. I am an incredible housewife. I am a clever businessman. I am outstanding with technology. Whatever it is, you use incredible, brilliant, great, outstanding, fabulous. These are powerful adjective words that you can use in your ordinary qualities and specialities that you pick them up, except that it became greater and magnified millions of times in its magnitude of positivity. Okay? So now use those words. Incredible, brilliant. Repeat that to yourself. 30 seconds. Brilliant. Amazing, guys. Amazing that you use all these words. And now, the next 1 minute, not 30 seconds, but 1 minute. I want you to read 3 of them. And then I want you to ask yourself, if you say, I am an incredibly fantastic cook, I want you to ask yourself, why? I am a brilliant speaker. Why? I am an amazing person with technology. Why? I want you to think the why behind it by remembering what you've done, looking at that thoughts and that imagination and that feeling, okay? 1 minute, all those 3, and then ask yourself why. Here we go. I want you to go back to the scene and sceneries of why you are that good, that brilliant, that incredible. What's the scene? What are you seeing about yourself? Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If I have an emotional scale here in front of me between 1 and 10 about how you feel about yourself right now, I think you're going to give yourself a 10. And I don't think I'm wrong. Because that is the power of your mind. Imagine if you were to repeat that to yourself again and again. People say the best time to do that is during your shower. That's why they call shower empower. What are you saying to yourself as you soap yourself every day? Shower empower. Okay? Now, lastly, I want you to use this particular sentences, but with connection to a higher being, whether it's the universe, if you believe in, or whether it's God. To me, I'm going to use the word God. For example, these wonderful words to yourself. And then I want you to link it with why. I am blessed child of God. I am protected by God. I am deeply, deeply loved by God. I am blessed by God. Why? What's your experience? I am always, always protected by God. And I'm incredibly loved by God. Why? I want you to feel it in every cells of your body, deep down into your bones, healing all relationships, healing all the disappointments within yourself, about yourself, making yourself feel peaceful, loveful, blessed, lucky, incredibly powerful. Take a couple of deep breaths as you repeat these words. I am loved by God, always protected by God, and blessed by Him. Breathe in, breathe out. Open your eyes. Om Shanti. Namaste. We have a few minutes for questions if you like.
Hello, everyone. Milu, that was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. I do have one question here from someone. I don't have the name here. The question is, I am very sensitive and react badly to negative emotions from others. How can I stop that?
First of all, you are human. You are human. The words of yourself hurt you. The words of others hurt you. And if this is coming from not just everybody, but it is coming specifically from a person that you live with and you know it, then you will learn a wonderful technique. You know, we have what you call the allergy test, right? We take a different type of things that we put on there, and whereby we realize what we are sensitive with, whether we are sensitive to wheat or we are sensitive to sugar or we are sensitive to anything else. And then you use an alternative around it. Now, in emotional intelligence, what we do is we learn to desensitize ourselves. For example, when the person that speaks to me, the person who I'm living with, says something bad to me all the time, because I know him very well, and my relationship is not going to change with him. I am going to stay with this person more often than not. We learn to desensitize ourselves. You see, you cannot change anyone else. You can only safeguard yourself and save yourself from these emotions. You cannot save yourself from them saying it to you, but you can save yourself of how much it can impact you. Words that at that feelings of anger, yes, you will react. You are human. But then when you learn to realize, I have to desensitize myself specifically about this. I know a mother who was always sensitive when you talk about her son who is no longer there with them. The only way that person would bring that mother's feeling down is when we bring up the topic of their son. So one day the mother desensitized herself and said, you know what? My son is no longer there. He's in the hands of God. He's safe. And so she learned internally to desensitize herself. Then whenever anyone and everyone spoke about that son of hers, passing of a cloud, passing of a cloud. And you will learn every single day what it is that you're sensitive to, what emotion that you're sensitive to, and then you learn to desensitize it. This is your only safeguard, your only ability to desensitize yourself, because you can't stop someone else saying words which are negative. You just have to use an umbrella, and that's your safety, making yourself powerful. Usha-Ben, if I could just make a request, you know, I would love to see the gallery of all the participants. I've been talking to myself for the last 1 hour, and we have like beautiful, brilliant people out there. I'm just love to see their faces before you shoot me. And
okay, so can everybody put your cameras on, please? Thank you all. Thank you. That's wonderful.
Okay, I am not able to see it. I am thinking.
No.
Oh, yes, I got
gallery. If you put it on gallery view.
I did it. Okay. I saw it. Oh my goodness. I can see. Oh, this is wonderful. I have been so lonely. Wonderful. Well done, everyone. Any other question?
Yes. Number 2 is, what are your top 3 words for creating a positive outlook?
Yeah. My top 3 words. I am an incredible person. Incredible. I'm always blessed. Always blessed. The right thing at the right time happens for me. The right thing at the right time happens for me. This is my 3 top. It's a good question. Anything else?
This is just a thought from somebody there, that we have to be careful what we say to our children. If we call them certain names, they grow believing those adjectives. Right? So definitely do be very careful of how we speak to our children, the tone of voice, and also the words that we speak to our children.
Yes, these are very, very important. Imagine many people, many psychologists believe that the personality of an adult is very often influenced by what was spoken to them by their parents, by their partners, by their peer groups, by their teachers. And sometimes when you stand in front of the mirror and you ask yourself, who am I seeing? What do I see? Sometimes you hear what your mother says about you, what your teacher said about you. Your voice should be louder than the voices of all the past teachers, past friends, past. And so what we say to our children while they are still developing their personality is extremely important, which is why when you have a negative experience, you ask them to explain it or say it in a positive way. A child may say, oh, the teacher, I didn't hit the goal. I am so depressed. And you ask them to repeat that and say in a very positive way, I didn't hit my goal. I will learn better how to do it the next week. My feet or my skills are getting stronger and stronger. So what we tell the child, how to rephrase the child, how to rephrase their sentences, make a lot of difference. A lot of difference. If they said, I don't like carrots, then you say, what do you like? I like potato, I like broccoli, I like this. Okay, we'll make friends with carrot, less friends with carrot the next time. But you change, you accentuate the positive and then minimize the negative.
Beautiful. A praise from someone. Statement, thought, words, feelings, attitudes, actions, habit, personality, destiny. It is very wonderful, useful, and very practical. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You have an amazing class. Your group of people are so clever. I love their questions.
And I'm sure that this is really on behalf of everyone, a very big thank you. Can I just say, as there are no more questions, can I just make a few announcements, Milu, before we do meditation?
Oh, I thought we did the meditation.
Oh, okay, that was it. Okay.
I hope that was, because I wanted everyone to learn to say that.
Uh-huh. No, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. Just something, you know that the talks are recorded. So if you wish to have a recording of today's session, then please send us a request on bradford@innerspace.org. Send us an email on bradford@innerspace.org. All the recordings will be available on YouTube also. Okay. Just a little announcement about the forthcoming programs this week. We have our weekly creative meditation on Tuesdays. Please do join us. They are creative in every sense of the word. We learn to meditate. And we do it through different perspectives, different readings, different ways of doing meditation. That is every Tuesday evening from 6 to 7:30. And the Zoom ID is the same that you are using today, 814-097-6317. And then every Thursday, we have a session on virtues and powers. And this is also a very powerful session. We all have virtues and powers, but we just don't know how latent they are and how to use them at the right time in the right place. So the Zoom ID again is the same, 814-097-6317. Now next Saturday, we have an amazing talk by the author of the newly published book called Healing the 5 Elements. And we all know that our body is made up of 5 elements, and the outside, the atmosphere is
I'm going to get a picture and you take it from here so that it can be seen there.
The atmosphere is also made up of 5 elements. And at this present time, both inside and outside require healing. So do join us Saturday, 26th of September, 5 to 6:30, by the author herself, Helen Wall. And the Zoom ID will be the same as what you used today. And fourthly, I would just like to share that if you would like a regular email sent to you about our forthcoming programs, please do email us by going on to our website, bradford@innerspace.org. Scroll down the page and you'll just come to this little box. You write in your name and your email and just send it off, meaning just click and submit it. You will then get a reply back asking for another click, and that is it. You will be on our mailing list. It's as easy as that. So once again, thank you. Thanks to Milu. Thank you all who've joined us. It was absolutely wonderful, and hope to see you all next week. There is one question, Milu. There is a question. Why sometimes, even if I feel and think positive about something, things still don't go well? Even if I do think positive, they don't go well.
Well, it's normal. Most of the time that you think positive, if you're, let's say out of 10, if out of 10 you think positive, 2 comes out right or 2 turns out well, you're good enough. You're very much above average. 1, it's a matter of practice. 2nd, it's a matter of belief. I believe, and that belief is very powerful. That can change that feeling of negative to positive. So out of 10 things, if you manage to do 2 that turned out very good and turned out positive, that you are able to change, you're very much not just average, but above average, because it takes time. It takes time. You have to believe what you say. You have to believe what you feel. And then you use affirmations that are correct and words that are very good. That's why I like those words: incredible, brilliant, powerful, amazing, outstanding. These are wonderful adjectives to begin with. You believe in them, you become them. I'm not just a great cook, I'm a brilliant cook. Not just a good housekeeper, an amazing housekeeper. Do you believe it? Simple words like that. If you believe it, it will happen. This is how powerful they are. Okay?
Beautiful. Really, really beautiful words. We are what we think, and so therefore, obviously, our thoughts are very important. They're very powerful, because at the end of the day, what is life? If we don't become sweet, if we don't use our words, right words at the right time, then we make a mess of our lives. And therefore, very beautifully said. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.